Hello, and welcome to RollBound. My name is Chas, and I am the DM for this wonderful group. We're going to go down the list and everyone introduce themselves, starting off with Groove. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Groove, and I am bound to the role of Chronoherist Mobius.
Alrighty, and Allie.
Hello, I am Allie. I am bound to the role of Charybdis Mobius.
Alrighty, Minnow.
Hello, my name is Minnow. I am bound to the role of Lady Reverie.
Awesome. Mickey.
Hi, I'm Mickey, and I'm bound to the role of Maria.
And last but never least, Joey.
My name is Joey, and I am bound to the role of Winfrey McNeil.
I'll take your word for it. Anybody you associate with has to be at least somewhat interesting.
Yeah, my son stays at home with my husband. I just miss seeing them from time to time.
Fascinating.
That sounds really hard.
It can be. I know that my appearance makes me look very small. I'm half tabaxi.
How have you defended yourself this long?
What's the other half?
Halfling.
Oh, fair enough.
So does that make... Never mind.
No, let's follow that thread. What were you going to say?
I don't think we should.
Best I not answer that.
Well, either way, I am very glad that you are with us, and I'm glad that we all have a common goal now, because clearly this is a great group that meshes very well together, and I'm very excited to be traveling with all of you.
Is all that you do take the piss, lass?
No, I don't piss all the time.
Charybdis looks to Winfrey and then just raises an eyebrow and says, "As strange as it is to say, I think she's being completely genuine."
Of course. I haven't lied to you yet. And then I lean forward a little bit and say, yet. And lean back and does the thing where she raises her eyebrows in an attempt to appear mysterious. Ooh.
Children.
I'm 32, I think.
I mean, that still qualifies as a child in my book.
Oh, that's fair. What's your book?
What?
No, I'm just interested because you said that, in your book, that doesn't count, so I don't know. I feel like I don't know that much about you yet, Maria.
Actually,
what do you consider to be an adult? And she leans forward and again, doesn't appear at all insulted by the fact that you just called her a child, but instead leaning forward, genuinely interested in what you were saying.
Maria looks kind of confused for a second of how you worded that, and then she's gonna open her mouth once or twice, and then she's gonna be like, well, I suppose at least 50 to 100.
Oh, interesting. How old are you then? I don't ask a lady her age. I know. I forgot.
Suppose I should tell you, because I don't see the harm in it. I'm 315.
Ah.
Wow, you look great.
Maria.
Objectively, you look great.
Thank you.
If you don't mind me asking, do you perhaps have elven heritage then?
I'm a sea elf, technically.
Oh. Fascinating.
It's actually a good question for the DM. How common are sea elves? Have any of us seen them before, or is this oh my god, a sea elf?
Usually, I wouldn't say they're rare, but they usually don't look like Maria. Usually sea elves, they usually don't have as much of the sort of markings, and they're usually more light-haired.
I also imagine they don't come to the surface often. Wouldn't really have much reason to.
No, yeah, a lot of them, they sort of live like Tritons do. They live underwater usually, and they have their own setups underwater. If they come to land, it's usually for something that they can't get down there naturally.
Charybdis looks to Maria and says, "If you don't mind me asking, what brings you to this cruise ship? Seems to me like you could go anywhere you wanted, but here you are.
That's actually a funny story. I wasn't planning on coming. I always think the cruise ships are kind of tacky, in my opinion. I always just do street performances. But the other day, I was doing a performance on the main street, and someone came by and dropped a ticket into my pirate hat that I had like sitting out for tips. It was very strange. And I thought, why not?
I would like to take an insight check on that if it pleases everybody.
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
I got a 5. So I think at that point, Charybdis says, "Oh, yeah, that makes sense."
I'm gonna look over to Charybdis and I'm gonna say, I told ya, Fate was trying to tell us that he was a fucking clown.
Oh, he's hoping he has a
DM.
big red nose to match.
Can I make a check to see if that story sounds familiar at all?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Alright, what kind of check is that?
For you, make me just a base intelligence check.
5. That's an interesting story. Sounds familiar. Weird.
You know what, Maria? Also give me an intelligence check real quick.
Okay.
What?
It's an 8.
Yo, 8 gang, let's go.
We're all stupid.
Two
Yeah,
ships
Maria, you're just
passing in
like,
the night.
yeah, it was like a tiefling. I don't know. I don't remember.
At this point, Charybdis, like, her head jerks up and says, "Wait." Looks around the room. "Where's my brother?"
Ron Harris is at the table.
I think... I think Charybdis says this, and, like, would Colonel Harris, like, clear his throat or anything like that?
No, he just stare. He
He's
actually
just-
he looks down at his watch, and he sets the stopwatch to see how long it takes to realize.
I'm gonna... Okay. Well, I got a 13 on a perception check.
He's
Yeah.
right. He's at the fucking table.
You look around, and then, like, you look and you're like, oh, hi, Colonel Harris, and then you keep looking, and then you're like, oh! You're here!
He stops it, and he pulls out a little notebook. And as he opens it, you can see there's just, like, a long list of times on it. And he writes down the time and puts it away.
Is this a new record?
No, not yet.
Oh, no, I absolutely not. There was one time, we were in our library at our estate, and I was searching for him, and I asked him if he had seen himself. and I spent 2 hours looking for him, and I couldn't find him, and I returned to the library, and I told him very dejectedly that Colonel Harris was lost, and he, I think that's when he started keeping the time book, because he was curious to see if I could beat that record, and he's never confirmed that, and I don't think he ever will, but...
Yes. After I received the news, it took another 48 hours for Charybdis to find me. It remains unbeaten.
Sounds like a really traumatizing 48 hours for both of you.
No, I was enjoying it.
Oh, well, that's good.
Charybdis's face, like, drains of all color and says, "Yes, it was not a pleasant experience."
That's a level of sadism I can respect.
No, not sadism. Observation.
It's all the scientific method the same.
Oh, are you some kind of scientist then, Colonel Harris?
It's none of your business.
But are you?
You get no response.
How to make it my business.
Shifting the topic, clearly you're not a scientist, so tell me, bodyguard, how are you going to guard me?
Oh, I will never leave you alone.
Oh
You're welcome.
no. So a very annoying meat shield.
Well, I don't know about very annoying.
A moderately
And my shield
annoying
is actually
meat
made of
shield.
iron.
No, by meat shield I meant the figurative expression. Your body will be used to protect mine.
Oh yeah, if you need me to. That's not a problem.
No, I'd prefer you not be so close.
Okay, so I'll be a faraway meat shield.
Yes, perfect.
Probably a little bit of bone in there too.
Yeah, so at this point, Trixie sort of like stretches and like pushes her empty plate away. And like almost the minute she like puts it away, like you see like a tiefling just come up, scoop up the empty plate and walk away, like without even just whoop whoop and walking away to go put it away. And Trixie sort of like stretches and goes,
Well,
she like starts rubbing her eyes.
I'm very tired, so I think I'm going to go turn in.
Right, that's a good point. You actually have my room based on the ticket you have, so I'll show you where it is.
You can stay in there if you like. I'm very small. I can literally
No, it's
sleep in
fine.
your closet, and it'll be
No,
fine.
we're not going to have you sleep in the closet. I get up and I will start.
Don't
After
the rooms
having
have
said that, I
separate
will.
beds anyways.
She doesn't remember. After having said that, I would never leave Chronoheros' side. I immediately get up with Trixie and leave.
Yeah, to like usher Trixie to a place to sleep.
Yeah, no, I'll take her to my room. Are there more than one? Is there more than one bed?
No, since it was for a single person, there's just one in
Yeah,
there.
technically it was a honeymoon, so it's probably a really big bed.
Yeah.
But I will give it to her, and then eventually I will come back and sleep on the floor.
Actually, that raises a really good point because of how I got my ticket. Do I have my...
You're technically in that room too, so you walk in, you see Trixie sleeping on a very big bed. And you probably see Lady Reverie asleep on the floor, like curled up like a little dog. She has removed her leg and her prosthetic arm.
Oh,
Quick
That's
side
not
note.
for a while, so we'll deal with that later.
Quick side note, by the way, as Reverie gets up with Trixie and walks her to her room, Charybdis turns to Chronoheros with the most shit-eating grin imaginable and says, "Well, I think she's a delight."
And I think you're not getting your money's worth.
For once, I agree. And yeah, Corderis will get up and skedaddle.
So at this point, is everyone going to head off to sleep?
I feel
Yeah.
like Maria would be going to the bar.
Before Winfrey has a chance to fuck off, Charybdis will look to her and say, "If we're going to be traveling together, I would at least like to know what you're capable of."
Well, if I showed you what I was capable of, more than likely it'd be far too dangerous for the people on board. But I can show you this. I'm going to look to Maria, and I'm going to look to Charybdis, and I'm going to nod over to a place away from prying eyes.
I mean, if Winfrey is attempting to get Charybdis to follow her, Charybdis will do so.
If we are at this point, I guess we would be in like a hallway or something, just like in the middle of the boat somewhere while everyone else is eating, swimming, drinking, whatever.
Yeah.
Winfrey is going to hold out her palm face up and focus intently on what you guys can see as a large scar that goes diagonally from the right base of the index finger all the way down to the left corner of the palm. From that scar, you see a bright red flash of light that is accompanied by a squelching explosion of blood that shoots up into a jagged piece of glass that appears to have some sort of large black handle attached to it in the shape of what you realize is an Athame, or Athame, or Athame. Somebody will correct me on it, I'm sure. Ceremonial Dagger, which she will grip onto, and the wound will reseal itself.
Fascinating. Is this an innate sort of power, or was this granted to you?
Oh, well, let's just say I've got a natural proponents for this sort of thing.
Interesting. How mobile are you?
How... I don't think I follow.
What I'm saying is, I'm guessing you don't have much of a range with that thing.
Well, no, but I'm always carrying something else with me, and I'm going to pull a crossbow off my left side.
Allow me to demonstrate. Charybdis takes the wire sphere out and then flips it back out into a staff. DM, I'm going to exchange my remaining first level spell slots to make 3 sorcery points. I'm then going to convert those 3 sorcery points to a second level spell slot. And then Charybdis is going to flourish the staff and then just touch the end of it to Winfrey's shoulder and say, I think that'll help. Charybdis gestures to the wall nearest them and says, go on, give it a try.
Which one? I've got 2 things here.
No, just walk.
I guess I'll step backwards?
Closer to the wall, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
As Winfrey does so, she feels her gravitational pull shift, and she's now standing on the wall.
Oh, it's a spell what lets you walk on walls and such.
Without using your hands, crucially.
Right.
My talent is manipulating the world around me.
Well, my talent's blowing it the fuck up, so...
It sounds like our power set may complement each other.
Maybe.
I'm going to be straightforward with you, Winfrey, so there's no false pretense. As I'm sure you are perfectly aware, I don't trust you.
Good.
But I know power when I see it. And you seem like the kind of individual that would be better suited as an ally rather than an enemy.
You'd be right on that one as well.
So, I'll make you a deal. For the remainder of our time together, I will stay out of your way, assist you where I can, and in exchange, you keep that blade between me and my brother and whatever else tries to harm us. Understood?
Seeing as how I've got quite a bit on my plate as is, putting you towards the top of my list as potential problems would be probably a bit too rewarding for you. We've got a deal.
Charybdis gives a little curtsy, says, very well, and then spins the staff back into the sphere, hangs it back on her side.
Also, Winfrey, only you hear this, but you hear like a little like swishing noise from your hip when you say you've got a deal. From your vanity mirror.
Okay.
Also, as Winfrey feels herself be affected by Charybdis' spider climb spell, just faintly around her, she hears the distant ticking of clocks.
I'm gonna step off the wall before the spell gets released and I fall flat on my fucking face.
As she does so, the clock ticking stops as Charybdis stops concentrating.
I'm gonna holster, quote unquote. I don't know what you do with a crossbow. And then I'm going to hold the dagger up over my outstretched palm, and it's going to recede back into the scar.
Ouch.
Charybdis looks to Winfrey and says, I'm going to retire to my room. It's been an eventful day, far more so than I was hoping it would be. But, have a few drinks on me. Charybdis tosses her 2 gold pieces.
I'm making more today than I do normally.
And then, I'm gonna retire to my room.
Does our good Lady Maria have a place to sleep for the night?
Yeah, the ticket has a room on it, but I plan on not going to my room for a while now. Plan on getting a few more drinks. Maybe a few more coin from the lovely patrons.
Well, luckily for you, I happen to quite like your... We'll say you've garnered my interest for now. I think I might stick with you for a bit. You seem to be the only one with any wits about you.
Oh, I appreciate that, but, I mean, going towards this group, I don't know if it's very high of a praise, but I could always use a drinking buddy.
So do y'all spend the rest of your night just having a few drinks? Because I know that Maria doesn't even really need to sleep, so...
Oh yeah, it's true. Elf and all that. I didn't even think about that. I've made poorer life decisions, though. So yeah.
Yeah, so the night sort of finished itself off. Next day, again, it's a very beautiful day. I mean, there's no clouds in the sky. There's a light, cool breeze to sort of counter the sort of scorching heat of the sun, as Hydrus is the hottest month of the year, second hottest month of the year. And the next day, sort of starts, and the ship at about 11 in the morning, we'll say, is 5 hours away from is about 5 hours away from the dock. Which,
When I wake up, is Maria in the room?
Yeah, she probably would have came back late, just a few hours ago, and would have just, crashed on the floor.
So I wake up and I see Maria in the room. I'm like, oh, hey! That's weird. What are you doing here?
She's
Go
gonna,
up and I poke you. Hello? Are you alive?
she's gonna turn around and just smack your hand, and then, blink a few times. It's like, am I forgetting something?
Oh no, there would be very much a lot to forget. You woke up on my floor.
Your floor? This is my room.
No, this is my room. Look, Trixie's on the bed.
I think Maria would stand up and, look up the bed and be like, no, this is the room that was on my ticket.
This is clearly the room that's on Trixie's ticket, so really it's her room.
you hear just... from
Very
the
heavy
bed.
sleeper. I found out on accident because I took my leg off and then I fell over and hit something and knocked it over and she didn't even stir. I think I have a bruise. You want to check? It's on the back of my head.
No. I'm just flabbergasted right now.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
Trixie's
delighted. I'm
ticket...
happy you're here.
Trixie's ticket, quote-unquote, is on the bedside table. Just sitting there.
I'm gonna grab it.
Yeah, and it says that this is the room that belongs to this ticket.
I'm gonna look at my ticket. Are they do they have serial numbers on them?
There's a little bit of, there is a number at the bottom, and it's it's 2456009, and then, the same number combination, and then 010.
Oh. So, I think you're the one that actually gave me my ticket the other day.
No, I'm pretty sure that's not the case. I would remember something like that. Oh, that's where I heard the song. And I'll sing back the Sylvan part of it that she remembered. Wow, how crazy is that? That someone was singing your song, and then you got a ticket.
Oh my
It's
god.
weird. Man, fate really is what did Maria or not Maria, what did Winfrey say? Fate really is a gown?
Clown.
A clown in a gown.
I think Maria at this point would be like, just like facepalm and then grab her stuff and then just leave.
As you get up, are you hungover?
You know what,
do I-
Maria? Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, yay.
Oh yeah. Ooh. That is a not natural 20.
Yeah, the
Ooh,
DC
nice.
I set in my brain hole was 10, so no, you're not. You're great. You feel like you woke up and are fully fucking refreshed.
Woo. So no.
All right.
No.
As Charybdis gets up for the day, I'm going to be rest casting Mage Armor through my mark.
Cool.
Chrono Harris walks out of his room in the morning and is going to go wait for everyone on the top deck.
Charybdis definitely meets with him first. And kind of says to him, "What a strange few hours."
Indeed. It makes my stomach hurt.
What's on your mind, brother?
Mainly these very strange people on a cruise ship. I really don't like cruise ships. You know that? It's like a theme park, but you can't leave.
That's actually quite understandable. But do you think helping Trixie is going to lead us to Saurus?
I hope it will give us a lead, at least. Clearly, we're not getting the full story, but the degree of our missing information will likely determine how much help it will be.
That's true, but the talk of a strange land, weird disappearances, fits in with the duty Saurus held, and it all seems too coincidental to be an accident.
It's certainly the best lead we've gotten so far.
Either way,
I'm just worried about the person we're going to be seeing and the people we're traveling with.
I understand, but I'll be at your side the entire time. I'll make sure nothing bad happens to you.
You misunderstand. I simply hope no harm befalls them.
A look of understanding crosses Charybdis' face as Colonel Harris clears his throat.
And he's going to go walk into the buffet place and pop a good berry into his mouth and then sit down.
So y'all go from the top deck out back inside to go to the buffet area?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, which now is totally set up with breakfast. There's platters with stacks of pancakes and eggs and every way you can make a goddamn egg. There's it is set up. There's platters where toast is arranged artistically with multiple spreads. It's very nice and it smells fantastic.
Toast.
It takes Lady Reverie an additional 30 minutes to get down there because she gets distracted by the waves. And then eventually distracted by some of the people. And then eventually distracted by a bird. But eventually she does make her way down.
Ooh, squirrel.
Yes.
Yeah, so how do the rest of you spend your morning? Winfrey, what is your morning routine like?
I suppose the first thing that I would do would be to acknowledge the mirror after receiving the little swish?
You are told from your place of work to figure out as much as you can about this weird shit going on.
Involving
half of it I'll send you a message about, but like involving the basically your bosses, your head heard about you basically making an agreement to have a semi-long-term, traveling. So it's like the understanding that you have taken on some sort of responsibility outside of, your work.
Right.
And that there's a mutual understanding between you and where you work that you will be missing for a time, and also to spill the tea later.
Okay. Understood. After that, how much longer do we have on this ship? Like, what was the estimated travel time?
Starting at 11 a.m., it would probably take you 6 more hours to get to shore.
So we still have a good quarter of a day?
Yeah.
In that case, aside from some general checks to make sure that nobody came in and stole any of my shit during the night, Winfrey would attempt to find the rest of her temporary coterie and also imbibe on some sustenance, perhaps.
So you're heading to go get breakfast?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so you get into the banquet hall, and it's like, again, fully set up with all types of fucking food. There's, coffee, tea available, alcohol for people who are day drinkers. But, it's arranged in, little things to pour into the cups. It's like, here, we know you're a day drinker, and walking to the bar is annoying. So here, on this little tea plate, is a little thing to pour into a cup. It's ridiculous. It's like over-preparedness, but, fancy cruise.
I don't give a shit. I want some mimosas.
Yeah, that too. Fully set up, and there's people, again, working around the clock, bringing on completely fresh food. But you do see, since it's early in the morning, that your compatriots are sitting down already, at least the 2 of them that are awake. Well, and Reverie. Reverie did say she was up there. With Reverie coming up, would that mean Maria would be with her as well?
I think Maria would have put up earlier, because she did grab her shit and leave after, the whole thing happened.
Yeah, and Rev would have also stayed longer to prepare her spells for the day, get her limbs back on, and then eventually wait for Trixie to wake up and head down and get distracted by stuff.
Yeah, so Trixie's there too. She's also dug into some breakfast. She has a whole platter basically. But yeah, the last person to pull up, I believe, is Winfrey. So you're all gathered.
Well, good morning, darling.
The fuck did you just say to me?
I said good morning. Come take a seat. They have mimosas. I have a virgin one.
Yeah, they better.
Which is to say orange juice.
Can't handle you this early in the morning. God damn.
Shrugs. Thanks.
Not a compliment.
It is if I take it as one. So.
And we've come full circle.
We have 5 hours left, I think, before we reach shore. Something like that, they said. Does anyone know any card games?
Chrono Harris very loudly stands up, letting the chair slide out at the mention of card games. I'm gonna go look at
Or
the
not
gift shop.
card games?
You're gonna go to the gift shop?
Yeah. And he goes in any direction away from the card games.
Wait, brother.
Something tells me your brother's not the biggest fan of, card games.
Really? What gave you that idea?
Loud screeching chair, walking away with haste.
Charybdis feigns like a thinking pose for a second and kind of scratches her chin and says, "Yeah, I can see where you would get that impression."
Oh, so you're not gonna elaborate on that then, are you, smart ass?
I think you're under this impression that just because he's my twin brother that I understand him completely, and you would be very mistaken.
You're telling me there's not a single weird, hilarious story about how you and your brother hate fucking card games or something?
I mean,
Everyone has one of those stories.
one time I tried to show him a magic trick that Soros showed me when we were children, and it ended in me falling out of a window.
What?
Alright, that's a lot less funny, but I'll still laugh at it.
Well, the funny part about it was, before I drew the card, there was no window there. That was around the
Reverie.
time that my powers manifested. Apparently, I was comatose for a week. Couldn't tell you.
Okay, yeah, I get it. He hates fucking card games.
Do you know any card?
Charybdis just shrugs and says, "You asked."
Yeah, well, it wasn't entertaining, so I'm done asking again.
What were you saying, Mickey?
Do you know any card games?
Are you asking Reverie?
Yes.
Oh no, I've never played cards before.
What?
They just seem fun.
Do you have a deck of cards?
Oh no, definitely not.
I
thought
guess
that's
we're
what
shite out a
Chrono-
lot because none of us have any cards.
Well, I think Chrono Here's is going to the gift shop to get some.
No, I don't think he is.
Maybe I misread that.
Were you paying attention?
Almost never.
I
Does
can
anyone
see.
know? Does anyone know how to play checkers?
What's that?
That's a board game. It's not a card game. It's the same kind of thing, but you use little pieces on a board instead of cardboard in your hands.
Charybdis just blinks twice and says, "I don't understand. Why would you play a game to be bored? Thought that was the whole point of games."
No,
Not being
board like a piece of wood.
Oh.
As in it's played over a tabletop.
Charybdis just looks around and says, "Unfortunately, I don't see any boards either."
Well, I mean, I could come up with like a makeshift thing, like you get like a piece of paper or like a piece of like cardboard from like boxes that the buffet's throwing out, and have these. I have this like box of buttons that we can use as pieces.
I don't understand. A piece of paper? I thought it had to be a board.
During this amazing conversation, Reverie has gotten bored and forgotten where she was, and she has reached into her backpack and has pulled out her pan flute, and is now currently playing the song that Maria was playing last night, just sort of to herself, happily.
Hey! Oh, and then Maria's gonna do the same thing.
Sweet.
So
She'll definitely take like a sort of like supporting musical role to that. Like she sort of like lets you lead the melody and then she follows, just like adjusting very quickly.
Yeah, Chrono Harris, where did you go?
He's going to buy a deck of cards.
Fair enough.
Nailed it.
Yeah, he goes up to the gift shop and he'll buy some cards and a dragon chess set.
Yeah, that those things collectively use up like one of your not one of like getting that stuff will only like use up like half of the value of your voucher.
Oh, can I just pay for them?
Do you want to just pay? Oh, I was gonna say because each of you have 2 vouchers for the gift shop on the chip. They're worth 20 GP, so I was just offering.
No, we're just gonna pay. Yeah.
Fair enough.
there anything else of interest here?
You look around and there's like, behind the gift shop, because there's like silly things for like kids, like there's like dolls, little trinkets, games like you've already seen. So there's like card games, there's like a tarot deck, there's chess, stuff for like, sports that don't take up much space, hacky sack. And then like behind the vendor themselves, there's things in like encased in glass that are like really expensive. It's only like two things. There's one, like, it looks like a bag, like it just looks like a little like satchel that's like very well decorated. That has like a sort of how do I describe this? The flap that closes looks like it has like little scales on it, and then the rest just looks like it's made out of like dark felt, kind of like reinforced war felt. I can't think of another like hide kind of. And there's that. And it's one of the more expensive things. And then there's another thing where it looks like trying to think of how to word this, so pardon me. Because there's only two things that are in the glass cases. There's that, and then the second one is like, it's like a little vial that looks like there's like a weird white substance in it. And then next to it is like a little pouch that you can see is very obviously like shifting tea grass.
Yeah, before he goes, Chronoharis will point to them and say, what are those?
The person running the shop kind of like looks over his shoulder. He's like just an elf, and he goes, "Oh, yes. The first one is a bag of holding, and then the second one is shifting brew with a little pouch of shifting tea grass."
Is there a price anywhere on them?
The bag says 1500 GP, and then the shifting brew says, with the tea grass, says 20 gold pieces. It's like a tier of like, this thing's magical, so it's expensive. This thing's also magical, but it's not as expensive.
I see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll pay and return.
Yeah, so while a lot of you are having your like just continuing chatting, you see Chronoharis come back like maybe like 15 minutes later.
It has devolved into a jam sesh.
Yeah, he'll he sits down and he'll just enjoy the music for a bit.
When it eventually ends, Reverie looks up and looks extremely surprised to see Chronoharis, but also delighted. "Hello, dear."
Yes?
"Hello. I forgot you were back. When did you come back?"
Some time ago.
"Oh, I'm sorry. I do want to let you know, just to make you comfortable, we have decided that we are never going to play card games around you, just because we want to make sure that you are 100% comfortable."
So Chronoharis is like a stoic, right? So he... Usually anything he's feeling is not very clearly expressed, but his sister, who is well attuned in like the subtle signs he gives, can tell that he is just devastated as he hears that they're not going to be playing card games. And nobody kind of...
I think at this point, Charybdis looks to Reverie and says, "Oh no, I very much think we should play a card game or two."
Can I look at Chronoharis with that and try and see if I also pick that up? I'm sure it's a very, very high DC, but...
Yeah, make me an insight check.
Yeah? Oh no, that's a 12, definitely not.
Yeah, you just like look at Chronoharis, who seems like he's being Chronoharis, and you look at Charybdis like, wow, she would really do that to her own brother.
I look back at Chronoharis and I'm like, "Are you sure? I don't want to make you uncomfortable."
He blinks a couple of times and says, "I do have a deck in my bag, And he pulls out the deck he shuffled on the way back and slaps it down on the table.
All thoughts of the pan flute have been forgotten, and she shoves it into her backpack and is very excited to learn how to play cards.
Also, Chrono Harris, the deck of cards you purchased from the gift shop is a very beautiful deck. The back of the card, where all the art is, has, like, this blue background with this very beautiful, like, black ink. Kind of looks like just a mix of, like, iron bars with a bunch of, like, vines with pretty leaves and stuff like that. It looks like you're looking into the gate of, like, a gorgeous estate or something. That's what kind of the art looks like a silhouetted sort of thing with a blue background. They're very pretty and very well made.
Cool. He does like blue. Yeah, so he's going to serve out the cards, and he will basically explain the game they'll be playing. A licensed variant on poker. And as he does, he says, yes, this is actually the game we were playing when my sister fell out of a window.
Oh yeah, what a way out of that.
Oh.
Charybdis, just like, with the brightest smile on her face, and says, incidentally, after that, I kind of forgot how to play, so this will be interesting for everybody involved, I'm sure.
He, blinks a couple of times, collects up the cards, and says, no, we're going to play Go Fish.
What is Go Fish?
I'll teach you.
Is it like a gopher but not quite?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he'll teach everyone how to play Go Fish.
Sick.
And then I think they're going to play Go Fish for 5 hours.
Lady Reverie
It
will
is
play Go
certainly
Fish
a
for 5
game that you
hours.
could play for 5 hours.
So did a lot of you just spend the rest of your time on the boat sort of just playing some, like, mix-up of card games until the boat docks? Is there anything else you want to do?
I think about...
Oh yeah, and when it's Winfrey's turn to deal, she, like, names off all kinds of crazy shit in terms of, like, card games. Like, she names off games, like, people have never heard before, and then we'll also go into depth on how to play it.
I think at some point, Charybdis excuses herself for, however long it takes, and then we'll also go to the gift shop. I'm not sure, like, the full extent of everything that is in the shop, so I guess, like, the two magic items, obviously, the bag of holding and the other thing, would probably stick out to her, but, you said the vial was 20 gold pieces?
Yeah.
Which was the value of one of our vouchers?
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy that.
Yeah, so the elf guy, he, like, reaches into the glass case and pulls out both the brew and the shifting tea grass, because you can collect it, like, it comes with it. Two separate items, and he goes, alright, use responsibly.
Oh, I can assure you I will. Also, just out of curiosity, you wouldn't happen to have any leather strips, perhaps?
Leather strips?
Yes.
Give me just one moment. And he, like, sort of, like, kneels down and just sort of, like, you hear him opening up some drawers. And he peeks his head back up, and he goes, they're not necessarily for sale, it's just sort of some supplies He, like, pulls up this roll of, like some leather straps that were obviously collected from doing something else that have, like, a weird ribbon wrapped around them to, like, keep them somewhere, and he sets it on top, and he goes, most of this stuff's covered in dust. I have string, and he just puts some things, like, things of varying degree that, like, somewhat match a description and then stands upright. dusts some dust off of his coat.
As he starts dusting himself off, Charybdis holds up a hand, and like the visage of a clock appears for just a moment, as all the dust is cleared out of the items from him and also him himself.
Oh, thank you. But if you really want to buy it, I would say like 5 copper. If you have it, I don't know.
I can sell maps here.
What are you looking for? Are you looking for a map of Retka? Are you looking for a map of the country itself, Viron?
None of the above. I'm looking for the tubes that maps are typically sold in. Scroll tubes, if you will.
No we do not. I have the maps themselves, but not the containers they're kept in. Or, well, if you buy the map, I guess it'll have the container, but I don't sell them separately.
I will take a map of Viron, then.
Sure thing.
How much altogether?
Altogether, that'll be 20 gold pieces and 1 silver piece.
Oh, and do you happen to have any special commemorative ink or parchment?
I have Siren Song brand quills and paper, yes.
How fancy is it?
That's alright.
What's the value?
They're worth about a singular gold piece. They're really out there and we overcharge. Being honest with you.
That won't do. Very well. The map and the odds and ends. You said 20 gold pieces?
Yes.
I give him the other voucher.
Thank you much. He, takes the voucher and then, you see him sign it and store it somewhere and go, "Well, madam, I hope you have a wonderful day."
You as well. Thank you. She curtsies and then goes back to the others.
They're still playing Go Fish.
Yeah, Charybdis, when you come back, there's about, an hour and a half left on your voyage.
By the way, the entire time Charybdis was gone, Talk was playing in her stead.
Lady Reverie didn't notice. didn't respond at all. It was just like, okay, Talk, do you have any caves? I do have a quick thing. While we'll say this was while Charybdis was up, Lady Reverie will just sort of whisper, "All right, love, do you know anything about this game?" Speaking sort of to herself. And see if she gets any memories about it. About cards in general.
You see this, visage in your head of, from the perspective of a child, and you see, another tiefling child sort of, going, you hear in, a little kid's voice,
Alright, here's the rule. You have to ask me if I have the card, and then I have to tell you if I do or not. If I don't, I say go.
You hear a memory of, a kid very badly explaining the rules that you have recently learned. And, from, the kind of forced perspective you're in and remembering just, okay, and going along with it, playing a very, shitty kid version, where they add consequences that really don't exist to the game.
What is the emotion that's associated with this memory?
Bittersweet.
Okay. So yeah, she just kind of it's probably her turn, and someone has to poke her a couple times before she snaps back out of it. And she says, in flawless infernal, "Chronoheris, please tell me if you have any cues." And then shakes her head and says in common,
Chronoheris, do you speak that? She was asking if you had any cues.
Right, that.
No.
You're supposed to say go fish.
Wow.
And then at that point, if that's when Charybdis comes back, I look at the stuff that she got, and I'll say, "Where did you get that?"
A wizard gave it to me.
Oh, interesting.
Just kidding, I got it at the gift shop.
There's a gift shop?
Yes.
Reverie gets up from the table and runs.
Yeah, also, going to just... What page was that on? I'm stupid. I'm on the wrong page.
Page 4.
Page 86.
Close.
Very far away from 4.
So, shifting brew is an uncommon magical item. I'm telling you what it is now and being all fancy about it. Shifting brew is a not often seen magical item that is a vial of magical liquid. This liquid looks almost milky. It is rumored to hail from the mountains of the Aether Spine. The shifting brew is a base potion that can shift into any common or lesser potion the holder knows the ingredients of. Some examples being lesser healing, lesser invisibility, lesser strength. Generally, it's a weak, low-cost potion, but good in a pinch.
I promise you, Charybdis doesn't understand any of that. As soon as she gets back and as soon as the opportunity presents itself, she gives it to Colonel Harris.
Cool. Well, regardless, I read it out loud.
That's what Chrono Harris said out loud when he got it.
I think Charybdis just stares at him blankly for a couple seconds and says, "Sounds just like the kind of thing that you should have, brother."
Indeed.
But yeah, I mean, it was magical and it looked kind of cool, so I thought of you.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Charybdis.
She smiles and says, "You're welcome."
You think they have Smith's tools? I need a new set. I believe I lost my old ones in Redka.
Don't worry, I'll pick you up a new set when we get to the city proper.
Oh, well, I have to use these vouchers. He holds up the vouchers.
Charybdis blinks twice and says, "I don't... Hold on, let me think. Did I see any Smith's tools while I was there?"
They had, little weird bundles. You couldn't see the tools themselves, but you saw that they had the weird brand bundles where it was, wrapped in ribbon and wrapped all nice. You saw that there was artists, Is there a cartographer's tool? Am I misremembering that?
Yes,
okay, there is. I was like, am I making this up? Am I bullshitting right now? Am I the bullshitter? Cartographers, smiths, and then one more that was, shoved off and you couldn't see what it said.
As soon as Charybdis remembers that they did have Smith's tools, without saying another word, she takes the vouchers from Colonel Harris and says, "Be right back. I'll spare you from having to deal with our friend," and then runs off to the gift shop again.
He looks so thankful.
How dare you? I'm a hoot.
You are. Colonel Harris does agree, though.
He's allowed to be wrong.
Yeah, kind of yada my way through it.
Smith tools are worth exactly 20 GP, so it works out.
Sheesh. I didn't know they were that expensive.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get Colonel Harris some Smith's tools, and realizing that it doesn't take both vouchers. Is there anything else that will cost exactly one voucher?
He used the other voucher, but he only used half of it, so there's
Half voucher then?
Yeah, 10 GP. You can get him a silly toy. You can get him another map. Map was 10 GP.
Are there any, strange paints?
Strange paints?
Yeah, glow-in-the-dark ink or anything crazy like that?
There's there's an artist set, and there's one that's regular and one that's glow in the dark. It says it'll say artist set.
Are there Tinker tools?
Tinker's tools?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Tinker's tools are 50 GP.
I'm gonna get those for him too. I'll mark off 40.
Alright. Yeah, so you use the vouchers and then just pay the change?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then when Charybdis comes back, she said, "I wasn't sure which one was the Smith's tools, but I got you both," and then hands him the Smith's tools and the Tinker's tools.
Oh, I think I lost my Tinker's tools as well. Colonel Harris says, sort of discarding his other set of Tinker's tools.
Just leave them on the chair next to yours. Wow, that's crazy.
I love that.
Really quickly, what Lady Reverie is doing in the gift shop, she goes in, she asks how much the vouchers are worth, She gets a number, and she buys every single toy that she possibly can, using the 2 vouchers, and we'll spend the next hour and a half handing them out to random kids on the boat.
Aww. Yeah, you're able to get, like, an upwards of, like, 20 stuffed animals.
Perfect. Handing them out to 20 kids. And then eventually she will remember that she's supposed to be keeping an eye on Trixie and will hobble back.
Yeah, and by the time you get back, you hear this very loud bell sort of go over the boat, and you hear multiple, like, crew people, like, announcing that the boat is going to be docking in 10 minutes. Hey everyone, this is Jas, your DM speaking, and I would like to thank you so much for watching the 4th episode of RollBound. RollBound's episodes will premiere every Monday on both YouTube and Spotify. Be sure to follow us on Twitter as well at RollBoundPC for more updates, TTRPG content, and most of all, memes. Tune in next time as our adventurers dock onto the mainland and start their adventure from the small city of Valier. Hope to see you then.